One of the other major issues when they talk about defunding the police, which, the idea overall is absurd and it will totally lead to the destruction of society. But particularly in CD9 and particularly in Arizona, the real estate business is a huge business everywhere, but in Arizona, it's a growing market all the time. People are moving here. And I just want people who are in the real estate business, realtors, brokers, also people who are homeowners, I really want them to think about what defunding the police actually means for their industry. I mean, if you defund the police and the neighborhoods are no longer safe, are your property values going to go up or are they going to go down? If they don't reopen the schools, how is that going to affect your property values? So there's a lot that's really tied into this defund the police thing. And I really believe that all citizens, regardless of their party, Republican, Democrat, Independent, I really think everybody wants safe communities. I see the defunding the police movement as very dangerous and also very anti-women and anti-family. You have a lot of people out there now who are feeling that they have to fend for themselves, and it's not a good place for society to be. So much with the defunding the police too, it's leading to very perilous situations for the average citizen. I mean, we've seen stories. There was a story of a woman, and the police recording was there. She was in her car on the highway with her child, and she was surrounded by the mob. They were pounding on her car, on the hood of her car, smashing it, and she was calling for the police, and the police were saying that that situation was sanctioned. There was really nothing she could do about it. I want you to imagine that that's you, or that's your loved one, or that's your child being surrounded by a mob on the highway, or being harassed walking down the street. It's a very frightening situation. There's some members of the Jewish community. I had a story related to me just a few days ago. Religious Jewish person walking down the street, and as they were going by, somebody threw a bottle at them from a passing car. But instead of being hit by it, the guy actually turned around and caught the bottle in midair, and the crowd around started applauding for him. It's dangerous what's going on. Leaving citizens to fend for themselves, it's very dangerous. And here's something that I think is really important that is happening. The way I see it is, okay, bear with me for a moment. The way I see it is this. There are some who believe that they're innocent and the police are just preying on them, that they've actually done nothing wrong, right? So maybe occasionally that happens, but by and large that's not the case. If you're not breaking a crime or suspicious in some way, the cops are not going to be hassling you. So a lot of these people feel they're completely innocent. So I think they're trying to flip the situation now. They're taking innocent behavior and they're trying to criminalize it. So like these two people, the McCloskeys, who were just indicted in St. Louis. They came out, they're protecting their property. There's a mob on their private property. They've been seen looting and rioting and burning property to the ground. So they came out with their weapons to defend themselves. Their weapons have been confiscated and now they're being indicted. What they did is law-abiding behavior. It's the most basic right. It's your right of self-defense. You're under no obligation to lay down and let your property or your life be taken by a mob. But what they're doing now is they're trying to criminalize that. The law is being perverted. It's standing with the criminals against decent people. Really, without even going too deep into the mask issue. I mean, in only 4 months, everybody has basically been conditioned to believe they need the mask, and we could debate the merits of that at another time. But some places want to criminalize it. So simply the act of walking out of your home without having your face covered is now going to be a crime. And what does that give if they corrupt the police system, what does that give everybody a chance to do? It allows them to arrest decent, freedom-loving people for doing absolutely nothing. And I see this happening. Little by little, they're trying to criminalize normal behavior. We can't let that happen. We have to stand up. We have to push back. I'm Nicholas Tutora, and I approve this message. Paid for by Tutora for Congress.